Hi, thanks for watching the video. My name is Mike Clark, and I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the local CBRE office in Buffalo, New York. We join you today from the beautiful Fashion Outlets here in Niagara Falls, New York. Why we're here, we're going to get to in a few minutes later on in the presentation. And what this presentation is going to entail is we're going to take a look at the Western New York retail real estate market. We'll take a look at a comparison of year-over-year numbers from a vacancy and an occupancy standpoint, as well as what some of the retailers and landlords experienced during the pandemic in the past year. And then lastly, we'll pull out our crystal ball and try to predict what you'll see in 2021 and beyond with the retail market. So, taking a look at vacancy numbers and occupancy numbers in the Western New York retail market in 2020, we saw a slight increase of only about 1.5 points in the overall rate, resulting in a 14.4% overall vacancy rate across the retail properties. Much of this vacancy can be attributed to large box and department store vacancies, which are in the enclosed mall sector of our retail market. The trade areas that house these particular properties have shown the highest vacancy rates, while conversely, smaller trade areas don't have quite as high a rate. On the low end of the scale, the Buffalo trade area, the city of Buffalo trade area, sits at only 8.8%. However, that is a small sample, so a large deal one way or another could adversely or positively affect that rate. On the other end of the scale, the McKinley trade area, which houses a large enclosed mall, which is considerably vacant, comes in at 19.8%. So you can see the variance between a market that has an enclosed mall versus a market that doesn't. So how has the pandemic affected retailers and landlords? Well, it's affected them greatly. Retailers with strong online omni-channel presence has done well or has fared better than the ones that don't. Landlords have been working with tenants not only from a rent standpoint, but from also driving foot traffic to the stores when they're allowed to do that by local municipalities. COVID inevitably has accelerated many of the concepts that were pre-pandemic. Buying online, picking up on store, acronyms like that, BOPS, become pretty commonplace among not just the retail professionals, but shoppers as well. And shoppers really have become buyers. They're doing their homework online, and when they show up at the store, they're not loitering, they're not shopping, they're coming to buy. See that trend to continue as we look to the future. So now we look into our crystal ball and try to predict what's going to happen with the retail real estate market here in 2021. From a tenant's perspective, it's going to be ever so important to stay in tune with that consumer. They need to know that consumer's needs, wants, and demands, not only from a purchase standpoint, but from a return standpoint and an experience standpoint for when they do come visit the stores. From the landlord's perspective, and hence why we're at this property today, the landlords need to inspect their properties, need to stay in tune with their tenants' needs and wants, as well as the consumers and the type of tenant that they're trying to attract to their property. This property here is in the process of converting some of their former retail space to medical. Landlords like that, savvy landlords that get ahead of trends versus behind trends, will prove to be successful in future years.